Baba Yaga is an enigmatic or ambiguous character from Slavic folklore who has two opposite roles. In some motifs she is described as a repulsive or ferocious-looking old woman who fries and eats children, while in others she is a nice old woman who helps out the hero. She is often associated with forest wildlife. Her distinctive traits are flying around in a mortar, wielding a pestle, and dwelling deep in the forest in a hut standing on chicken legs. The first clear reference to Baba Yaga occurs in 1755 in Mikhail V. Lomonosov's Russian grammar. In Lomonosov's grammar book, Baba Yaga is mentioned twice among other figures largely from Slavic tradition. The second of the two mentions occurs within a list of Slavic gods and beings next to their presumed equivalents in Roman mythology, the Slavic god Purin, for example, appears equated with the Roman god Jupiter. Baba Yaga, however, appears in a third section without an equivalence, highlighting her perceived uniqueness even in this first known attestation. In the narratives in which Baba Yaga appears, she displays a number of distinctive attributes: a turning, chicken-legged hut, and a mortar, pestle, and/or mop or broom. Baba Yaga may ride on the broom or, most recognizably, inside a mortar, using the broom to sweep away her tracks. Russian ethnographer Andrei Toporkov explains this Baba Yaga's selection of tools by numerous pagan rituals involving women. He suggests that the pestle was first to be used by Baba Yaga, because it may be used as a weapon as such. It was used in a number of rituals, and the mortar was added later by an association. Baba Yaga often bears the epithet Baba Yaga Kostianaya Noga, bony leg, or Baba Yaga s Zeleznimi zubami, with iron teeth, 6, and when inside her dwelling, she may be found stretched out over the stove, reaching from one corner of the hut to another. Baba Yaga may sense and mention the rusky duk, Russian scent, of those that visit her. Her nose may stick into the ceiling. Particular emphasis may be placed by some narrators on the repulsiveness of her nose, breasts, buttocks, or vulva. Sometimes Baba Yaga is said to live in the faraway or thrice-ninth tsardom, beyond the thrice-nine kingdoms. In the 30th realm, beyond the fiery river, lives the Baba Yaga. In some tales, a trio of Baba Yagas appears as sisters, all sharing the same name. For example, in a version of the Maiden Tsar collected in the 19th century by Alexander Afanasiev, Ivan, a handsome merchant's son, makes his way to the home of one of three Baba Yagas. Ivan walks for some time before encountering a small hut identical to the first. This Baba Yaga makes the same comments and asks the same question as the first, and Ivan asks the same question. This second Baba Yaga does not know either and directs him to the third, but says that if she gets angry with him and wants to devour you, take 3 horns from her and ask her permission to blow them. Blow the first one softly, the second one louder, and third still louder. Ivan thanks her and continues on his journey. After walking for some time, Ivan eventually finds the chicken-legged hut of the youngest of the 3 sisters turning in an open field. This third and youngest of the Baba Yagas makes the same comment about the Russian smell before running to wet her teeth and consume Ivan. Ivan begs her to give him 3 horns and she does so. The first he blows softly, the second louder, and the third louder yet. This causes birds of all sorts to arrive and swarm the hut. One of the birds is the firebird, which tells him to hop on its back or Baba Yaga will eat him. He does so and the Baba Yaga rushes him and grabs the firebird by its tail. The firebird leaves with Ivan, leaving Baba Yaga behind with a fistful of firebird feathers. In Afanasiev's collection of tales, Baba Yaga also appears in Baba Yaga and Zamoryshek, by command of the Prince Daniel, Vasilisa the Fair, Maria Morievna, realms of copper, silver, and gold, the Caesar and Vasilisa the Wise, and Legless Knight and Blind Knight, English titles from Magnus translation. Depiction on Lubki, a lubak of Yaga Baba dancing with a bald old man with bagpipes. Baba Yaga appears on a variety of lubki, singular lubak, wood block prints popular in late 17th and early 18th century Russia. In some instances, Baba Yaga appears astride a pig going to battle against a reptilian entity referred to as crocodile. Some scholars interpret this scene as a political parody. Peter the Great persecuted old believers, who in turn referred to him as a crocodile. Some lubki feature a ship below the crocodile with Baba Yaga dressed in what has been identified as Finnish dress. Peter the Great's wife Catherine I was sometimes derisively referred to as the Chakonka, Finnish woman. 11. A lubak that features Baba Yaga dancing with a bagpipe playing bald man has been identified as a merrier depiction of the home life of Peter and Catherine. Alternately, some scholars have interpreted these lubki motifs as reflecting a concept of Baba Yaga as a shaman. The crocodile would in this case represent a monster who fights witches, and the print would be something of a cultural melange that demonstrates an interest in shamanism at the time. According to the PhD dissertation of Andreas Johns, neither of these two interpretations significantly changes the image of Baba Yaga familiar from folk tales. Either she can be seen as a literal evil witch, treated somewhat humorously in these prints, or as a figurative witch, an unpopular foreign empress. Both literal and figurative understandings of Baba Yaga are documented in the 19th century and were probably present at the time these prints were made. Generally, Johns describes Baba Yaga as one of the most memorable and distinctive figures in Eastern European folklore, and observes that she is enigmatic and often exhibits striking ambiguity. He characterizes Baba Yaga as a many-faceted figure, capable of inspiring researchers to see her as a cloud, moon, death, winter, snake, bird, pelican or earth goddess, totemic matriarchal ancestress, female initiator, phallic mother, or archetypal image. Related figures and analogues. Jezebaba, a figure closely related to Baba Yaga, occurs in the folklore of the West Slavic peoples. The two figures may originate from a common figure known during the Middle Ages or earlier. Both figures are similarly ambiguous in character, but differ in appearance and the different tale types they occur in. Questions linger regarding the limited Slavic area, East Slavic nations, Slovakia, and the Czech lands, in which references to Jezebaba are recorded. Jedza, another figure related to Baba Yaga, appears in Polish folklore. Similarities between Baba Yaga and other beings in folklore may be due to either direct relation or cultural contact between the Eastern Slavs and other surrounding peoples. In Central and Eastern Europe, these figures include the Bulgarian Gorska Majka, forest mother, also the name of a flower, the Hungarian Vesoru Baba, iron-nose midwife, the Serbian Baba Charisma, Gvozden Zaba, iron tooth, Baba Roga, used to scare children in Bosnia, Croatia, Montenegro, North Macedonia and Serbia, Sumska Majka, forest mother, and the Babis, and the Slovenian Jaga Baba or Jezebaba, Heda or Petra Baba and Kvatana Baba or Kvaternica. In Romanian folklore, similarities have been identified in several figures, including Mama Padurii, forest mother, or Baba Cloanta referring to the nose as a bird's beak. In neighboring Germanic Europe, similarities have been observed between the Alpine Perkta and Holda or Holly in the folklore of central and northern Germany, and the Swiss Klungery. Some scholars have proposed that the concept of Baba Yaga was influenced by East Slavic contact with Finno-Ugric and Siberian peoples. The hut on chicken legs deep in the forest plainly resembles huts raised on one or several stilts using stump with roots for the stilts, in popular use by Finno-Ugric peoples and also found in forests rather than villages. The stumps with roots may be uprooted and laid in a new place as in the example exhibited in Skansen, or in ground where it was felled. Like Baba Yaga's hut, these are normally cramped for a person, though unlike Baba Yaga's house they do not actively walk and also do not contain a stove, being intended as storehouses and not for living. The Karelian Sayojadar has some aspects of Baba Yaga, but only the negative ones, while in other Karelian tales, helpful roles akin to those from Baba Yaga may be performed by a character called Akka, Old Woman.